As a young female entrepreneur, there are often a lot of challenges that we have to face on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, that can be really, really difficult. And sometimes, a lot of the time, men don't have to go through the same challenges. So in this video, I'm going to go over the top 3 challenges that I have really faced in my entrepreneurial journey, how I've overcome them, and how you can overcome them as well. So the first challenge, and something that is completely out of our control, or something that I find challenging anyway, is, it sounds silly, having so many emotions all the time and having such a range of emotions throughout the month as our cycle changes throughout the month. It can be really challenging because there are days when you wake up and you feel like you want to cry and you have no idea why. And there are days when you wake up and you're full of energy and you're loving life and life is amazing. And then there are days when you wake up and you're feeling super flat and you just want to stay in bed and you don't want to talk to anyone. So it can be really challenging to navigate your own emotions as a female entrepreneur and really look at, okay, well, how can I start to build systems around my emotions, or how can I start to build strategies around my emotions so I can actually use them as a productivity tool instead of feeling like they control my life and I don't have control of my emotions. So a good thing to look at is actually the different phases of your cycle based on the phases of the moon and how you can use the different phases in your favor so that you can be more productive as a female entrepreneur. Now, if you're not aware, there's basically 4 different phases of your female cycle, monthly cycle, and you can relate them back to the seasons of the year. So you've got your spring phase where you're feeling full of energy. That's just after your period's finished, full of energy, life is amazing. Summer phase, again, full of energy, bright, fun. You want to be out and about, seeing people, doing lots of fun things. Then you move into your winter phase, which is actually the longest phase, which is where you're starting to lose a little bit of your energy. Things are starting to calm down a little bit. And then you've obviously got your winter phase, and that is when you actually have your period and you're the most tired, a little bit grumpy sometimes, and you don't feel like going out and being a social butterfly. So those are the 4 different phases, and we can actually use those to our advantage when we're building a business. So in the spring phase, when you've just finished your period, I always love to use this time to be the most creative. This is when I plan brainstorming sessions for myself. I'll allocate some time in my calendars to sit down and be creative, brainstorm. It's when I film content, because when you're in your spring phase, you're like a little spring chicken. You want to be making friends with everyone. You want to be out and about. You want to be seen because you're feeling cute. You're feeling great. You're full of energy. And so we want to really use that creative energy. And I always will batch create my content when I'm in my spring phase, just because I know in the other phases throughout the month, I don't feel like filming content. So I always do it when I'm in my spring phase, or maybe my summer phase as well. But usually my spring phase, I batch create a whole bunch of stuff, and then that will be used for the rest of the month, and I don't have to worry about filming content until the next month. So there's little tips and tricks that you can do like that to make your emotions seem less like they will control you. Now, in terms of your summer phase, this is when you're very still full of energy, full of life. You want to be seen, you want to be out there, you want to be networking with people, meeting people. This is a really great time for you to have meetings and renegotiate, because you're feeling very confident when you're in your summer phase. You're feeling unstoppable. You're feeling like a strong, powerful woman. Like you're really feeling yourself in this phase. So that's when you want to be having meetings, important meetings with people, negotiating deals, being out and about, and really selling in this phase, or getting stuff done in this phase. Now, then the next phase we want to move into is the autumn phase. This is where your hormones start to calm down a little bit. You might not have as much energy. And so in this phase, you're very task orientated. You really want to, if you can, make sure that you structure your monthly calendar so that the majority of the projects that you need to get done, they're in your autumn phase, because that's really the phase where you want to be finishing up projects. That's where you want to be working on the tasks, working in the business, getting the things done, ticking things off the to-do list that you've been procrastinating on for the past couple of weeks in your spring phase and your summer phase. And then when we move into the winter phase, that's when you have your period. that is basically a time for reflection. You want to be slowing down and looking at the past month, what things went well, what didn't go well, where are areas of improvement. Start to really reflect on the business, your brand, what you've been working on, how you've been working as a CEO, as a boss, to your team, or if you're a solopreneur, how you've been showing up for yourself, and really do a bit of self-reflection in that time. So that is a way that you can help to manage your emotions when you are a female entrepreneur, is to actually block certain tasks in your month. A lot of males get to block tasks in their day because they don't have such a big range of emotions. But as us females, we have to block the tasks over the whole month because we have such a big range of hormones and emotions that are happening over the month that we need to use to our advantage to make us more productive. The second challenge that I have faced in my entrepreneurial journey was actually building a support network and building a network of amazing people around me that are all on the same journey, because I originally grew up in Canberra in Australia, which if you don't know Canberra, don't worry about going there because there's not much there. It's basically where Parliament House is in Australia. So it's lots of people that work for the government and work for the public service. And yeah, that's pretty much all that anyone does there. So not a lot of young people that are wanting to start their own businesses, that are wanting to do something different, break outside of the box, change the world. There wasn't that community of people around me there. And so I actually left Canberra and moved to Bali to surround myself with other online business owners that were doing something different, that were breaking out of the box and that wanted to change the world, because it was really, really difficult to not have a support system when you were building a business, to not have anyone to bounce ideas off. And now that we've actually moved to the Gold Coast, we have such an amazing support network here. We have so many friends that are all business owners and entrepreneurs, but it wasn't like that when we first moved here. So what we actually did was we started to host Taco Tuesdays at our house, in our apartment here. And so any cool business owner that we would meet, we would say, hey, we're having Taco Tuesday in a couple of weeks. You should come. And we'd get their contact details and then we'd invite them to Taco Tuesday. And so we just keep inviting more and more and more people, because we'd be out and about at events or at cafes or doing different things, and we'd find these cool people and we'd bring them to our house for Taco Tuesday. And eventually now we have a group of about 30 entrepreneurs that we're friends with. They all come over. We have an amazing time. I cook for them. We share tacos and margaritas, and it's beautiful. And it's such an amazing strategy to be able to make friends and to be able to build a support network. If you feel like you don't have a support network right now, or you don't have any friends actually inspire you to be a better person or to grow your business, I would definitely suggest starting to host a Taco Tuesday night, because that was an absolute game changer for us in terms of our network, our support network, and our circle of influence. And the third challenge, something that is still challenging for me, but it's a work in progress every single day, is being able to balance life with work. Because when you have your own business, when you're building something that you've poured your heart and soul into, your business is like your baby, right? Like, it is something that you have put your life into. You have birthed this business from your own mind. And so it is so easy to get caught up in working 24/7 because you feel like firstly, your brain never switches off, which is sometimes frustrating. But when you have all of these new cool ideas all the time, you always want to be working on them. And there's always more things to do when you have your business. So it can be really difficult at times to balance having fun with working in your business, because for me, working in my business is fun. So trying to do other things outside of my business for fun has been challenging to say the least. But one thing that has really helped is actually my partner holds me accountable now, because he can recognize when I don't do things outside of work for myself. It really affects me and my stress levels and just my overall well-being. So he holds me accountable to doing things, and I actually have started, I'll book things into my calendar. I'll allocate time in my calendar. Even if I don't have anything specifically booked, I'll allocate time every single week now to doing fun things. I have specific time in my calendar to do fun things. And so it's a really good idea to have an accountability buddy to hold you accountable to doing fun things, and then actually booking things into your calendar as well, because you don't just want to be working all the time. It's fun to work and it's fun to build your business, but at the end of the day, you still need to do other things that light your soul up, that bring you joy. You need to go out and see your friends and have fun and go on adventures or whatever brings brings you joy, get a massage, get your nails done, whatever it is. You need to make sure that you prioritize that. So those are the top 3 obstacles that have been really big for me on my entrepreneurial journey, and a few different strategies that you can try to implement if you're struggling with the same sort of obstacles, so that you can also overcome them and hopefully live a better life. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell. And if you have any questions, please definitely pop them in the comments below. I would be more than happy to help you out. And until the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye.